My name is Holly. I'm a 32-year-old housewife. I have a family of 3. My husband Bruce and our 7-year-old daughter Daisy. My husband is a section manager at a securities firm. I used to be a hairdresser. My parents run a beauty salon, and I had planned to take over the business eventually. But life was going too fast with marriage and childbirth. I decided to delay taking over the family business for a while. I had no idea that I would find myself in the middle of a daytime soap opera. Please listen to the story of how I left my cheating husband. I met Bruce on a meeting app. From the beginning, I had a good impression of him as a kind and thoughtful person. At first, we only exchanged messages, but as we talked to each other about various matters, we fell in love and ended up getting married. However, there was a problem. From the beginning of our marriage, my husband did not help me with housework at all. I had hoped that this would change at some point, but there was no change at all. Still, as luck would have it, I soon became pregnant and had our baby girl, Daisy. Sure enough, my husband did not participate in raising our child. If I asked him to do anything, he would suddenly flip a switch and act like a jerk. I work hard to support the family. You were supposed to do everything around the house. Even if I ask him to do something very small, he can still destroy things if he is in a bad mood. In the end, I realized that it was impossible to ask for help, so I always did my best on my own. Furthermore, my husband's work suddenly became very busy when Daisy was getting to daycare. He was on more business trips and away from home even on weekends. Whenever he came home, he would often say, "I'm tired," and go straight to the bedroom. Even so, I thought I was taking care of everything at home for my busy husband. A day before my daughter's 5th birthday, I told my husband about the plan. "Bruce, tomorrow is Daisy's birthday, so let's all go out for dinner."
Yeah, okay.
My husband said yes, but he was somewhat preoccupied. Still, it's Daisy's birthday, so I guess it's all right. I made a reservation at a fancy restaurant in the neighborhood. I was a little concerned about whether it would be okay to use it to celebrate a kid's birthday, but they said yes. My daughter and I waited for my husband at the reserved time. The appointed time passed, and no matter how many minutes we waited, he did not show up. He might have been in an accident, so I called him. "Hello? Where are you?" My husband answered in a slightly angry voice. "What?"
I am in the middle of an important meeting.
I was a little surprised and complained to him in a grumpy voice. "I told you yesterday that today is Daisy's birthday."
Then my husband suddenly became angry and said, "My current project is more important than Daisy's birthday. What the hell is wrong with you? Don't you understand the importance of my work?"
With that, my husband hung up the phone. "Daisy, I'm sorry. Daddy's very busy. I'm so sorry." I apologized to my daughter, and she cheerfully replied, "It's okay. It can be helped with work, can't it?" After that, we had dinner together, acting cheerful so as not to make my daughter feel uneasy. After that year, my husband never had dinner with my daughter on her birthday. Something was bugging me. Then, the decisive event happened. My husband stopped spending Christmas with us because of his work. Daisy had just started the first grade, and Christmas was a special event for anyone. My daughter and I both believed that this time my husband would make it up to us. Long before Christmas, my daughter had asked him directly, "Daddy, please come home early on Christmas Day. Promise?" My husband was not in the mood, but replied,
"Yeah, I'll promise."
I had a bad feeling about this. Still, I told myself that this time it would be alright. After all, it is Christmas. On this holy night, miracles can happen. On the day of the event, my daughter grabbed my husband before he left for work. "Daddy, you must come home early today. There is a feast waiting for you." But his answer shocked her.
"Oh, honey, I'm sorry. Daddy has a business trip today."
Huh? What? What did you just say? A business trip?
To our astonishment, my husband replied coldly, "It was suddenly decided last night. Don't you realize the importance of the project I'm working on? I've had enough of this. Anyway, I gotta go."
I sent him off in shock. To make matters worse, my daughter developed a fever that night. I called my husband out of concern. I kept calling and calling, but he never picked up the phone. I even felt like I was doing something wrong. I called his office instead, because I didn't know what else to do. "Your husband? Isn't he taking a day off today? Due to illness?" Huh? I can feel my head spinning. He said he was on a business trip. I took a few deep breaths in a desperate attempt to get a handle on my stirred up mind. I had a gut feeling. Woman, my husband is having an affair. That night, my daughter's fever was well under control by the time she went to bed. I was relieved she's better. My daughter was sleeping peacefully. I had a glass of wine alone in the daze. Before I knew it, tears were streaming down on my face. My husband heard my beloved daughter repeatedly. I need to be strong for my daughter. I vowed to my daughter, who was sleeping innocently, I'll find proof of the affair and get a divorce. And I will be living a happy life with my daughter. I silently decided. My husband didn't stay home for New Year's. I didn't even care. I no longer cried or grieved. Soon after the New Year, I hired a private detective to have my husband's background checked. The results were immediate. Exactly what I expected. Super guilty. I checked the photo of them going in and out of hotels. Disgusting. They also showed me photos of them eating and talking together and making out in public. I asked them to identify the woman and her social networking sites. It turned out that the woman was a direct subordinate of my husband. Her name is Tess, and she is 27 years old. She seems like a woman who likes to show off quite a bit, and one of the deciding factors was her social media. My husband had been seen in her posts on the same day of my daughter's birthday, Christmas, and New Year's. June 7th, on a date with my boyfriend. December 24th, staying at the Ritz-Carlton with my boyfriend. December 31st, hoping to be happy with my boyfriend forever. They had been dating for nearly 3 years. I was getting angry at my husband for cheating on me and my daughter. At the same time, my love for my husband plummeted from 0 to negative. For a few months, after I found out that my husband was cheating on me, I kept my cool.
and I carefully made a plan for the future. Divorce is a given, but don't think you can get away with it easily. I would suddenly disappear from my husband's life. Let's start with the house. The house we were renting was just up for renewal. I secretly ended the contract and gave my husband no home to return to. Next, we need to find a place to move to. When I told my parents what had happened, they graciously agreed to let me go back to their house. My parents originally wanted me to take over the beauty salon. They were rather happy that I was coming back. Once the decision to move back home was made, it was just a matter of what to do with my belongings. I'd like to move all my belongings in secret on the day of the move. I moved our belongings little by little to my parents' house while my husband was away. My husband has never been interested in me. He didn't seem to notice that my belongings were gradually decreasing. I also decided to sell the refrigerator and washing machine I bought when we first got married. However, I asked the mover to pick them up on the day we move out, because it would have been obvious because they are big. On the day of the move, my husband was on a business trip. I guess he was having a good time with his affair partner. He left the house in the morning in a good mood. I sent my daughter off to school and packed up my belongings. Soon after, the moving company's truck arrived. One by one, the items of furniture were removed from the house. Then I received a phone call from my husband. I was surprised, and I picked up the phone. Hello?
Hey, it's me. What's going on? There seemed to be a lot of noise.
Oh no. I answer. I took the utmost care not to show my agitation. Noise? Oh, I'm out shopping right now. There's some construction work going on nearby.
I see. Well, I was supposed to come back tomorrow, but it turned out to be the day after tomorrow.
Great, I thought to myself. Okay, well, take care. I cheerfully hung up the phone. Then I hurriedly continued my work. Meanwhile, the movers finished their work. The refrigerator and the washing machine were out of the room. The room is suddenly deserted. After sending off the truck, I put the last of the small amount of stuff in the car. Then I locked the door and left the house. I was a little nervous as I picked up my daughter from school. We sat in the car, talking quietly. Daddy and Mommy can't be together anymore. So I decided to take you to Grandma and Grandpa's house. Your home may be different from today, but we will still be your mom and dad. I love you, Daisy. She listened to me with a mysterious look on her face. What about school? Oh, you won't have to change school. You will still have all your friends. Oh, well, then it's okay. I was taken aback by how easy she responded. My husband had always been cold to my daughter. He never played with her, even on his days off. On birthdays and Christmas, we found ourselves alone. He was not only not fulfilling his role as a husband, but also as a father. Long before I decided to leave him, I already didn't need him. 2 nights later, my husband called me.
What the hell? What's going on with the house?
Well, I've canceled the contract. We don't need you or the house anymore. I replied coldly.
Where is the fridge and washing machine?
My husband was super upset.
I sold them all. What? What the heck, Holly?
My husband was getting even angrier. I told him in a matter-of-fact manner. Anyway, I'll be waiting for you in the conference room tomorrow.
What do you mean?
I've spoken to your boss about all of this. He said he will be happy to talk to you and your affair partner.
What are you talking about?
My husband blurs it out. I'm sorry, but your boss already knows about your affair.
No. There should be a misunderstanding. You don't trust me? I'm disappointed in you. Come back here, right now.
My husband was upset, but I calmly continued. I can't and I won't. I'll see you tomorrow. I hung up the phone. The next day, my husband, the woman he'd been having an affair with, and my husband's boss, the head of the department, gather in the conference room. The atmosphere is really heavy and strange.
Let's start with you first, Bruce.
The general manager opens the conversation.
This is a misunderstanding.
My husband immediately retorts.
Tess and I only have a professional relationship. I'm sure we get along particularly well, but we've never had an inappropriate relationship.
Then what about these pictures? I confronted him the pictures of them going into the hotel or making out. My husband was startled, but calmly replied,
We just happened to be passing through the area. Also, you can manipulate those pictures. It's all fake. You made up this whole affair to humiliate me.
How dare he can make up such a lie? Well, then, what about this? I read out loud Tessa's post of her Instagram. You look like you were having a good time. Partially, but you were in the picture. See? That's not him. That's someone who looks like him. Your husband looks exactly like my boyfriend. Tess cut in and answered. So it's all a coincidence. And you two have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Is that what you're saying? I stared at them and they nodded. Well, I guess I don't have a choice then, I said, and I saw my husband and Tess smirk at me. I continued. Now then, since you're here, I'd like to meet your boyfriend. I'd like to see your boyfriend who looks exactly like my husband. If you can get him to testify, I'll be satisfied as his wife. What? Tessa's voice trails off. You heard me? I'm asking you to get him over here, I said firmly.
Her boyfriend is out of the country right now, so she can't bring him here.
My husband starts defending her. Okay then, could you please show me the pictures of your boyfriend in your phone? I persisted. Tess started scrolling up and down with her cell phone. Preferably one in a suit with a large upper body. I was watching carefully. And then a few pictures came up. Photos of my husband in a suit. There! So, this is your boyfriend. My husband's look-alike. I asked quietly and she answered clearly. Yes, you're right. Can you do a close-up of the neck typing in this picture? Larger, a bit larger, please. Thank you. Wow, that typing. I gave it to my husband a long time ago. It has his name on it. You see? It's faintly reflected in the magnified letters. Are you still going to lie about it? I said, suppressing my anger. Oh, well, that's... Oh no, shoot. My husband's head down, looking pale. I said calmly to him, Please,
contact this lawyer's office from now on. I put the business card on the law firm I had consulted beforehand on the desk.
What the heck, Holly?
My husband is stunned. I am divorcing you. My husband does not hide his upset at my clear statement.
What? Divorce? What about Daisy? She's going to be in trouble if we divorced.
No, she's not. She's gonna be totally fine. Daisy has already agreed to it, and I am going to raise her on my own. And then Tess, his affair partner, said the unthinkable.
Yay! Now we can be together, Bruce.
I know it's a little too late for that, but she confessed the truth in her own word.
Tess, shut up!
My husband yelled at her.
I didn't realize you called each other by your first names at work.
It's a friendly company, I told him sarcastically, and my husband insists.
It's a misunderstanding. The photo is fake. Even the type-in was a coincidence.
When my husband said that,
Tess looked like she was about to cry. Why are you in such denial? You said you would marry me after you left your wife.
What? No, I didn't say that.
I interrupted him. No? You didn't say that? Explain it.
Don't interrupt me. This is between me and Bruce. If you would just left him, none of this would have happened. This relationship has been going on for years. You should have known that, you insensitive bitch.
I was offended by the words she threw at me. You are a bitch. Do you even realize that you destroyed someone's family? Whatever. This is a waste of time. You can have him. He's nothing to me anymore. The manager finally puts a stop to it.
Cut it off. Bruce, your wife is the victim here. You've betrayed her many times. You're responsible. The same goes for you, Tess. I will report this to the CEO.
He told them in a firm tone.
Bruce, we can be together now, can we?
Tess is still saying that.
Jesus, Tess, stop it. We may be losing our job here. We have a strict compliance policy. If they find out, it's the end of my career.
My husband was screaming in panic, and his stupid lover has no idea of what was going to come. The two of them kept yelling at each other. The manager and I left the conference room. We were both disgusted.
Go ahead and squabble all you want.
Not long after I visited the office, the divorce became official. In this case, my husband's infidelity was the direct reason for the divorce. Alimony and child support was to be paid in full. Of course, I was able to get alimony from the cheating partner as well. My husband was removed from his position and resigned because he could no longer work for the company. Tess, the cheating partner, resigned as well. Later, Tess's parents heard about the affair and were furious. Soon after, they decided to break up. Both my husband and Tess are currently looking for a job. I, on the other hand, took over my parents' hair salon. It's a thriving business because of the buzz around the newest management using social networking site. In addition to my parents' old customers, the number of younger customers has increased. My parents love having their granddaughter around. Daisy seemed to have no feelings for her father, who was always cold to her. I would like to remodel my parents' house in the near future. I don't think I'll ever forget what my ex-husband did to us. You can't understand the despair of being betrayed by someone you love.
unless you've experienced it. But I think his betrayal has made me independent woman. I will work hard for my daughter. We have each other. That's all we need. From now on, birthdays and Christmas should be fun for the whole family. Thank you for watching till the end. Please subscribe to our channel if you like. See you in the next video.